God bless you. Today is Thursday, February 12th, 2026. And I'm here tonight to encourage my brothers and sisters in the Lord, my pastor friends, evangelist friends, and people who I've known and grew up with in the Baptist church, or just know, I fellowship with you somewhere in church, somewhere or on the job, or I just been knowing, or we've been acquainted with each other for most of our lives. The reason for this video is to encourage you. If God has blessed you, and you know that He has called you to minister, to pastor, or even to evangelize and to preach the gospel in season or out of season, and you're going through struggles right now because you're trying to fill up a church, or you're trying to keep a building and you're struggling to keep your church doors open, go back and ask God, is that what He really called you to do? I know we all go through tests. I go through them. But I'm going to share my testimony. I knew from day one when this ministry started, really, it was October 16th, the year 2000. I knew that I wasn't going to be like everybody else. I've never been like everybody else. And what happened? How did it start? I had a major surgery after I gave birth to my youngest son. I had major surgery, and it was hard for me to rest at night and seem like and still take care of my family, my little boys and my girls going here and there. So I would be up at night, and I was new to the internet then. My two daughters, Brittany and Stephanie, taught me how to use the internet. And I was online, and I wandered across this community called Delphi Forums, if any of y'all remember that from way back when. And I started praying for people, typing out prayers and encouraging them. And God gave me the name, the Prayer Warriors Call Ministry. And this is how the ministry grew online. It started online first, and then eventually the ministry grew. And we had a radio show on WEGG AM 710 in Wallace, Rose Hill, in that Rose Hill, North Carolina. Suzanne, if you're still around, I thank you for giving me a chance. And later, WIDU here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Eventually, I was licensed to preach through the church that I was in, and I was able to travel to southern states, Atlanta, Florida, and Virginia, to preach the gospel. That was just beginning, and the doors just constantly began to open, and God blessed me to write a book, Truly Seeking the Face of God. You can find that online. And the ministry just began to grow. But the thing is, it was online, mostly online. It seemed like God just kept me online and meeting people and praying for them and encouraging them online. And it was in the year of 2007 when I was introduced to Facebook. And the ministry started from there, and a lot of you started following the ministry and being a blessing to me, strengthening me spiritually. And that's where we stayed. And when the doors opened in September 19th, in the year of 2020, that's right, 2020. No, it was the year 2019 when we left the traditional church, because God called us out and said, it's time for you to get to know me for yourself and to be free to preach the gospel. Nothing but the gospel. He didn't want anyone trying to push me into a building or dictate how I should preach, what I should look like, what I should wear. And when I'm going through a test, I couldn't call on anybody but Him. I couldn't dial a prophet or nothing. And some of y'all know those tests came and they were excruciating, very hard. But God used it to strengthen the ministry and to build us up. And most of all, He taught us how to get to know Him, who He really is, through fellowship of suffering. I didn't have anybody to turn to but God. I couldn't. I had to obey Him. When trouble came, I still couldn't call anybody but God. It was a hard, rough time. But in the natural eye, it looked like it was terrible. But spiritually, the ministry, we began to turn to God, and we grew in grace and the knowledge of the truth, and He kept us strong. Every Sunday, we would be right back online preaching and teaching the gospel, regardless of what was going on, but in the news concerning my family. in health issues that other family members were going through. God gave us strength to stand. And why am I telling you this? If God has called you to have just a Zoom meeting, a Zoom prayer meeting, or your services on Zoom every Sunday morning, don't be ashamed to do that. Continue to preach the gospel. The word of God is the star of the show. We aren't. We're not going to be judged by how we kept our building open or how many members we had stacking the house. That doesn't even concern me. I get joy every day knowing I'm in the will of God, preaching the word of God. That's the main thing. And asking God to send his word to heal his people. That's where the joy is. I honestly don't believe it's God's will for us to have to struggle to keep church doors open. If he call you to minister, if he call you into this work, he's going to provide it. He has always provided for us. Through the good times, through the challenging times, God has always provided and encouraged me and let me know, look, I call you to do it, and I will be with you as long as you be with me. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Just get back on track. Pray and say, God, what did you call me to do? Tell me again. Show me plainly so that I will be in your will. And if he's calling you to minister online, get with it and close out everybody else but God. And let him lead and guide you, and the people will come to be blessed. Our YouTube channel, since we moved mostly from Facebook was growing during the pandemic. But then when it was time to move, really just a couple of months ago, to move from Facebook to YouTube, the word is being a blessing. And he's sending the people. So if he called you to do that, we have to get the word out by any means necessary. And I have not lost not 1 minute, not a minute, not a night of sleep, struggling and wondering how we going to pay the bills or get members in to keep the doors open, because I knew that was not in God's plan for me, because the blessings of the Lord will make rich and add no sorrow. So don't feel bad. Be encouraged. Say, God, if this is where you want me, make it to prosper, and he will. Now, he gave me a prayer ministry to teach people how to pray the scriptures, and how to get to know God. And it's a deliverance ministry, because once you know how to pray and get to know God, you can pray demons out yourself. You don't need anybody to prophesy to you 5 days a week just so you can get up out the bed. And if we don't ask for seed offerings, we leave the door open. If you want to be a blessing, be one. But we don't have to beg for seed offerings and pastor anniversary money and all that stuff. We can stay focused on the word of God and the lost souls. And you can too. So you get back, regroup. Ask God to put you on a fast, strengthen you to fast and pray, so you will know what his perfect will is for you and for your life. And don't worry about what anybody say. I could care less. I don't even waste my time listening to people when they ask me what I'm doing. Let's have an online ministry, and they roll their eyes. Got the same demon in them they had in 40 years ago when I was trying to pray myself away from it. That doesn't bother me. The main thing is, are you walking with the Lord? Are you pleasing him? And are you doing his will? Because that's the main thing. And you have so much peace when you do. God bless you. I hope this little bit of word encouraged you. You can visit us online at WPWC Radio, and YouTube, and on TikTok, and wherever. And remember to preach the word in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, go through the long suffering. Run on, live holy, and get your crown. I love you in Jesus. Stay prayed up.